Not only was Adam Silver watching a game, but he was also seeing the league's lifeblood slip away. Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's shining star, the name that fills arenas and ignites TV ratings, has withdrew out of the All-Star Game. Another hurt, another news story. But this time, the stakes are bigger than ever. What time? Very harsh. The league is having tough CBA talks behind the scenes. And with rumors of a lockout becoming stronger, Clark's absence isn't simply bad. It's also hazardous. The NBA isn't just noticing. It's freaking out. Because this isn't fan drama repeating on Twitter. These are sirens for the boardroom. People in business are wringing their hands behind closed doors. The question now isn't just how terrible is her injury, it's how poorly has the league squandered its most precious asset. Thursday afternoon, Caitlin Clark made it official. She's out of the three-point contest. Out of the All-Star Game. Re-aggravated groin injury. But this isn't just a sore muscle. This is the All-Star Weekend, the league's largest stage. And her absence hits like a gut punch right in the heart of the most precarious negotiations in league history. Because whether the WNBA exists past 2026, it might all come down to how they preserve or fail their biggest star.
I'll leave the specific question about the foul to my colleague, Commissioner Engelbert. I mean, I other than as a fan, obviously, it's nothing new in basketball that there's sort of welcome for league moments, especially for heralded rookies. But of course, I want to see Caitlin treated fairly.
Adam Silver previously said, "Of course, I want to see Caitlin treated fairly and appropriately in the league." But now, as he watches the WNBA's brightest star sideline from its greatest weekend because of what seems like injury mismanagement, that assertion resonates heavier. This isn't just concern. It's a warning. Because when a commissioner from a partner league comments publicly about how a player is being treated, it's hardly a gentle reminder. It's a flare in the sky, a red flag the entire league can't afford to ignore. And inside the WNBA's front office, no one missed it. The question is, will they do anything about it?
She would be. Shortly before the show, Clark released this statement through the Fever's social media account saying that she's so excited for Indiana to host WNBA All-Star this weekend and that she says she knows that this is going to be the best All-Star yet. But she does go on to say how incredibly sad and, quote, disappointed she will be to not be able to participate, adding, quote, "I have to rest my body. I'll still be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for all of the action. I'm looking forward to helping Sandy coach our team."
The timing of Clark's injury couldn't be worse for the WNBA. It's time to quit dancing around the truth. Someone needs to be held accountable. Kathy Engelbert, the league's commissioner, has utterly fumbled the ball when it comes to preserving its most important talent. Even Christine Brennan, a noted sports columnist, has publicly called out Engelbert's unusual reticence to speak clearly about Caitlin Clark. When asked directly about Caitlin, Engelbert dodges, saying with Caitlin and Angel. But here's the thing, no one asked about Angel. They asked about Caitlin. And that subtle avoidance screams louder than any formal declaration ever could. This is the commissioner, the very face of the league meant to champion its biggest star. And yet, she can't even say Caitlin Clark's name without slipping away to talk about someone else. That's not leadership. That's dysfunction at the highest level. And the numbers? They don't just whisper, they scream. Since Clark's injury, nationally televised WNBA viewership has plunged 55%. Fever's national TV games? Down from an average of 1.81 million viewers to just 847,000. A brutal 53% drop, millions of dollars gone up in smoke. And Engelbert? She's pretending the house isn't burning. Let's rewind to the moment this crisis ignited the officiating disaster. Kinesiologist Dr. Lucas Seehafer reports 141 injuries since opening day. Remember, there are only 179 players in the entire league, and each team has played just 44 games. That's not a red flag. That's a 5-alarm blaze. Numbers like that should have Engelbert flipping tables and demanding change. Instead, she's navigating the league's biggest crisis like a silk dress caught in a thunderstorm, fragile and powerless. The system is breaking, and the person in charge? She's watching it all unfold in real time.
But in terms of the comments, in terms of the way the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, who I've known and I like, the way she has trouble talking about Caitlin Clark, or if she's asked about Caitlin, then she will say, well, Caitlin and Angel. Well, she wasn't asked about Angel, she was asked about Caitlin. This incredible inability to deal with the facts and to state the obvious. It is astounding to me how Kathy Engelbert doesn't come out after the Marina Mabry hit and say that's unacceptable. The refs got it wrong. Okay, should have been kicked out then. You were.
The officiating has gotten so outrageously bad that WNBA legend Rebecca Lobo couldn't keep quiet. Live on air, she spelled it out. There's a grab. There's a hold. There's another grab. Every single one of those is a foul. And here, that's a foul too. Caitlin Clark was being hacked all over the court, and the whistles never blew. When the legends of the game start calling out referees in real time, it's more than just sloppy officiating. It's a crack in the very foundation of the league. Even Clark's own coach couldn't stay silent. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White didn't hold back. I thought she got fouled. What's been happening the last few games? It's pretty egregious. The disrespect toward our team has been unbelievable. When a coach uses words like egregious and disrespect, this isn't just frustration. It's a direct challenge to a system that's failing the players it's supposed to protect.
There's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab. I mean, all of those are fouls. Every single one of them. And here, that's a foul, and finally they call.
The real breaking point came after that brutal Connecticut Sun game, where Clark took hit after hit, no protection in sight. That's when Stephanie White finally snapped. Everybody's getting better except the officials, she said. But this wasn't just a quick comment. It was a full-blown rant. For minutes, she tore into Tuesday's referees for completely losing control, blasting both the league and its officials for refusing to evolve alongside the game. She went on, every year at those league meetings in the fall and spring, we say the same things over and over again. And yet, nothing ever changes.
That you guys as an organization are doing, I mean, you're speaking out at this point, but anything more that you are doing or you hope to do to engage in the league and addressing these issues with the officiating that you've been very vocal with?
Yeah, I mean, I think every year when we have our league meetings in the fall and in the spring, we say the same thing over and over and over.
That's a coach speaking out loud, telling the world the league has known about these officiating problems for years and still hasn't done a thing to fix them. Under Engelbert's watch, the referees have only gotten worse, even as the league has grown in popularity and importance. The moments that led to Clark's injury, they came straight from an officiating nightmare. Marina Mabry shoved Clark to the floor after a dead ball. At first, it was called just a technical foul. But after fans exploded in outrage, the WNBA scrambled to upgrade it to a flagrant 2. The refs couldn't get it right when it mattered most, only making things right once the backlash boiled over. Even Clark's brother, Colin, took to social media to call them out, posting, "Make no mistake, this is on the reffing," after watching his sister go down. When family members start speaking out about poor game management, it's no longer just frustration. It's a cry from people watching someone they love get hurt, because officials refuse to do their jobs. And Engelbert's response? Absolutely pathetic. When asked about the rising complaints, she shrugged it off with, "I do find it interesting when you sit in the chair I sit in that no winning team ever complains about officiating. No losing team ever doesn't complain about officiating." That's not leadership. That's arrogant dismissal from someone who clearly doesn't understand what's happening. And the business fallout? It's massive. In 2024 alone, 23 WNBA games crossed 1 million viewers, and Clark was part of all but 3.
It was absolutely electric. A random Tuesday night. I know it's a Commissioner's Cup game, but the crowd was sensational, and Caitlin Clark put on a show here. Clark, searching for her spot, pulls up from 28 feet. The Fever go up 31-27. And then Clark gets it inside, dribbles back out,
Halliburton style.
And then drills it from 25 feet, 12 points.
Let him know. Look at that. Looking at it.
3 of 4 from the three-point line, 5 assists in the first half. All right, so here, keep an eye on Clark and J.C. Sheldon.
If you look at the most watched WNBA games this season, you have to scroll all the way down to number 15 before you find one that didn't feature the Fever. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star. She's carrying the league's entire viewership on her shoulders. And yet, Engelbert can't even keep her safe. The financial stakes? They're enormous. ESPN saw a 170% spike in WNBA ratings, with viewership jumping from 454,000 to over 1.2 million on average this year. ION followed with a 133% increase over last year. And every single bit of that growth, it's because of Clark. Engelbert's failure to protect her isn't just careless. It's putting hundreds of millions in future revenue on the line. The missed calls, the reckless play, they've been building all season. Take Tuesday's Fever Sun game. 5 technicals, 3 ejections, 2 flagrant fouls. Total chaos. The refs never had control. This wasn't a rough patch. It was an unraveling. All because no one held the officials accountable. They've been running the show without standards. And the betting market tells the real story. Sports betting on Indiana Fever games dropped nearly 50% just 1 week after Clark went down. Half the action vanished because she wasn't on the floor. When markets react that fast to one player's absence, it's a glaring sign of how much money the league loses without her. But Adam Silver's worries go deeper than player safety. He said it plainly, Clark's presence is a boon for women's basketball, but he's also uneasy with how she's being treated. And when the NBA commissioner says that out loud, it's a clear message. Fix this mess before we have to step in. Because these officiating failures, they're not just about Clark. They're part of something much bigger. Kelsey Plum couldn't hold back. She let loose in a profanity-laced rant after taking hit after hit. I get fouled like that on every possession, she said. There are multiple shots where they're just coming out swinging, and nothing gets called. And it's not just Clark. Night after night, multiple star players are getting roughed up. Engelbert's silence on all this is especially damning, given how fast the league is growing. Players and coaches keep saying the same thing. Calls are inconsistent. What's a foul on one end doesn't get called on the other. What's whistled in the first quarter, ignored in the fourth? That's not basketball. That's chaos masquerading as a professional sport. And with All-Star Weekend in full swing, the timing couldn't be worse. Clark's face is everywhere in Indianapolis, at the airport, outside the arena, even on the sides of hotels. The city built the entire event around her. But she won't be playing. She's injured. Again, stuck on the bench because officials and league leadership failed to protect her. Add to that the looming CBA negotiations, a ticking clock with the current deal set to expire October 31st, 2025. Players are already bracing for a possible work stoppage if serious progress isn't made. So now, the league faces sky-high labor tensions, and its biggest star is missing the All-Star Game due to injury mismanagement. The timing couldn't be worse. Clark never missed a game in college or her rookie season. But this year, she's already sat out twice, 5 games in May with a left quad issue, then another 5 before returning in July after a groin injury. Someone who was basically unbreakable for years suddenly can't stay on the court. WNBA management is playing with fire. The financial reality should terrify everyone involved. Clark's return game pulled in 2 million viewers, peaking at 8 million, a staggering 76% jump over last season's ABC average. When one player can create that kind of surge, her absence isn't just noticeable, it's a financial disaster. And Engelbert's failures don't stop at safety. Her missteps in promotion are equally damaging. Veteran journalist Christine Brennan said she likes Engelbert, but made it clear the league office must do better marketing its most bankable star. When respected journalists publicly call out the commissioner for failing to promote the league's biggest draw, that's not just critique, it's organizational malpractice. The officiating crisis has gotten so bad. Fans are launching online petitions demanding accountability. One reads, since Caitlin Clark's arrival, Games involving the Indiana Fever have been repeatedly marred by questionable officiating, missed calls, and a lack of disciplinary action for dangerous play. When fans organize petitions, that's not criticism, it's revolt. And the injury pattern? It's impossible to ignore. Sports analyst Rachel DA broke it down. Clark's injuries are shifting quad to quad, then groin to groin. You can't mess around with injuries moving around your body, she said. It means mechanically something isn't tracking right. Translation: the constant physical punishment Clark takes because of poor. This level of poor officiating isn't just dangerous, it's breaking Caitlin Clark down physically. Her body is developing mechanical issues from the constant, unchecked hits she takes every game. And the bigger picture? It's staggering. The 10 biggest WNBA audiences since 2002 all happened this year. All featured Clark. When a single player is behind every ratings record in more than 2 decades, losing her to preventable injuries isn't just a tragedy, it's malpractice at the highest level. Adam Silver's earlier words about wanting Clark treated fairly now carry a whole new weight when you see what's at stake. The league was expected to hit $1 billion in revenue this year, mostly because of her. And when $1 billion projection rides on one player, her health isn't just important. It's survival. The gap between what Clark brings and how she's being treated couldn't be more glaring. Her final college game with Iowa drew 12. 3 million viewers, the most watched women's college basketball game ever. Her Final Four game? An astonishing 14. 2 million viewers, ESPN's most watched basketball game of all time. Clark proved she could bring historic audiences. And yet, the WNBA is wasting that once-in-a-generation momentum through sheer incompetence. All-Star Weekend now feels like a symbol of everything broken under Engelbert's leadership. The events mirror the bigger issues in the looming CBA talks, players seeing new money pouring in and demanding their fair share. But how do you even start a revenue-sharing conversation when your biggest moneymaker is constantly sidelined by bad officiating? The global picture isn't much better. If the domestic league can't protect its brightest star, overseas leagues start looking far more attractive. Every piece of growth, every big headline, is tied to Clark's health and presence, and Engelbert's failure to protect that is putting the entire future of the league at risk. And here's the most painful part. That future didn't have to be at risk. The most damning truth in all this? It was completely preventable. Better officiating, real leadership from the commissioner's office, and a serious commitment to protecting star players. None of this had to happen. Instead, the league operates with referees who aren't even salaried. They get paid per game, and many split time with NCAA basketball, creating a dual-role system full of problems. That means these officials aren't trained properly, and they have no real incentive to protect the league's most valuable assets. The result? Your biggest star, the one you built everything around, is sitting out the All-Star Game in her home state because the people charged with protecting her couldn't or wouldn't do their jobs. Silver's concerns aren't just friendly advice from a partner league, they're a warning. The NBA is watching how the WNBA handles its most valuable asset, and they're not impressed. With billion-dollar media deals and major expansion plans on the line, you can't afford leadership and officiating failing at such a basic level. Engelbert's missteps have put the entire WNBA in jeopardy. The officials can't protect Clark. Ratings nosedive when she's gone. And now she's missing the league's biggest weekend. Silver's message is clear. It's not a suggestion. It's an ultimatum. Fix the officiating. Protect your stars. Or watch everything fall apart. The WNBA better pay attention, because this truth doesn't come with a warning label. It comes with consequences.